Hello, everyone. I think at this stage it is really fair to say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu rigged the election to be able to give terrorists enabling an environment for them to kill more citizens, because it seems as if the terrorists are really, really on a rampage and they are just killing people left, right, and center just the way they want. This is Sahara Reporters reporting tears and anger as 5 worshippers killed in Zamfara Mosque attack are buried. You've seen, a lot of attacks on mosques, people being killed. The other time we had like over 30, people reported to have been killed in mosque. And in all of this, the usual, oh, we condemn, this is not acceptable, we will fish out the killers that we used to hear before. We don't even hear them again. It's almost as if there is a tacit nod towards the terrorists for them to continue to do what they're doing. And you also see the nonsense peace deal that they say they are doing and all of that, where it is even the terrorists that are calling the shot. And this is as a result of, honestly, governance. There is no political will to protect the lives and properties of citizens. You have a certificate forger in chief instead of a commander in chief. The Nigerian army, I believe and I know, have the capacity for them to be able to overwhelm, overrun, and annihilate, take out these terrorists that are really not only that are killing us and also threatening the territorial integrity of Nigeria. But then what do we have is the fact that there's corruption, there's corruption, there is no political will, and then also there seems to be sabotage, amongst the military, where whenever you see a group of military who are going out and fighting the war, officers doing everything, attacking the terrorists, all of a sudden they just keep dying in mysterious ways. You see them as if they are being ambushed, and all of that. And then we're also having the situation where soldiers are crying out. Soldiers are saying that they are not being paid enough, that their salaries should be reviewed. With the economic hardship that is around, it's very difficult for them to be able, to survive. And even the monies that are supposed to be given to them, their officers really don't give it to them. For example, there was a particular allowance they say they're supposed to, the federal government approve 100,000 for them, but they end up getting just 20, and they can't even come out and protest or come out and say anything, because they are threatened. They're threatened, very severe consequences if they come out and do any of this. So in a situation like that, how would you expect that you're going to be winning, the war against terrorism? Because you haven't done your people very well for them to be able to, take care, to do the business that they need to do. And in all of this also is to ask, where is Nuhu Ribadu, where is the National Security Advisor that has been all over the place, saying all manner of things in terms of that the war against insurgency had almost been literally been won. People can travel anywhere, people can stay in their villages and all of that. People are being killed in their houses, in marketplaces of worship, name it, on the roads, traveling. People cannot do things the way they could do them before. The freedom they had to do, all of these things. And yet the government keeps lying and has turned the whole thing into something like a propaganda, instead of taking responsibility and going all out to go after these people, these terrorists who are killing our people. The funeral drew a large crowd of mourners who described the victims as devout Muslims known for their steadfast attendance of prayers. 5 worshippers killed in a bandit attack on a mosque in Yantodo village at a local government area of Zamfara state were laid to rest on Friday afternoon amid tears and anger. That's yesterday. They were laid to rest, yesterday. The funeral drew a large crowd of mourners who described the victim as devout Muslims known for their steadfast attendance in prayers. The attack occurred around 5 a.m. This is during the time when Muslims usually have their early first prayer of the day, and it's called Subu prayers. That's the first prayers around that early. And over time, we've been having a lot of attacks happening within that particular time, where worshippers who are going, to mosques are then killed while they are in the mosque or on their way to mosque, or around that time. The attack, it was said, occurred around 5 a.m. during dawn prayers, when gunmen stormed the mosque and opened fire on the congregation. So it's like they didn't come to steal anything. All they came to do is to steal lives, take out lives, and instill fear. Grief at the burial soon gave way to fury, with relatives and sympathizers directing their anger at government officials. Many caused those behind peace deals with bandits in northwestern states, dismissing the agreement as a ruse that empowered criminals while leaving ordinary people in greater peril. I think one of the things, especially when people are talking and say that, oh, these people support these terrorists, they know that whatever, they never see where the people are angry. All of these peace deals is things that make citizens angry. They kick against it, they say no, but government does what government wants without listening to the people who are actually victims. How are you having a peace deal with people you've not defeated? How are you having a peace deal with people who have destroyed lives and properties, who have committed such atrocities, and you're not even bringing them to justice? The same way we saw where what they call repentant Boko Haram, they were taking them into the military, bringing the citizens, especially people of Borno, were against it. They kicked against it. They were very angry. They were saying these are the people who did malicious things to them, who did very grievous things, atrocities to them, killed their people in front of them in such heinous manner, and then all of a sudden you're saying you are rehabilitating them, you're bringing them to join soldier, military and all of that, and usually we now have these people turning around and giving information to the terrorists. It's really unfair the way government does not take the feelings of the people, the situation of the people into consideration when they're making some of the decisions that they make. They further accuse some government insiders of masterminding such deals rather than pursuing decisive military actions or judicial measures against the attackers. Early on Friday, Sahara reporters reported the deadly attack on the mosque during early morning prayers. A local source confirmed the attack to Sahara reporters from Gusau, the state capital. According to the source, the bandits, armed with automatic weapons, stormed the mosque and opened fire on the congregation. While some worshippers managed to escape with injuries, others were not so fortunate. In a related incident, at least 50 worshippers were killed and several were wounded when armed bandits stormed a mosque in Katsina State during morning prayers in August. That was the earlier one I mentioned. Even when I was saying 30 something, I knew the figure were more, but I just didn't want to take them. It is better I even talk lower than higher. You're seeing there were up to 50 that were being killed. All of our citizens are being killed, and I can tell you, Tinubu hasn't made a statement. Most likely it's not going to make a statement. He's not interested. He's just interested in conobeying the whole economy of the nation, and not interested in the lives and properties of the people. For every one of those who were talking about Muslim ticket, all they cared about was Muslim ticket. They didn't care about competence. They didn't care about character. They didn't care about capacity. I just hope they are happy with themselves now.